Setbacks can be setups for comebacks. There's a story behind that. This is your daily message from Chad number 1089 to upgrade your mental game today by telling yourself a better story. Because the most important story you hear is the story you tell yourself. Here's the upgrade. You think pain is something to escape, but upgraded thinking understands that pain becomes the doorway to growth. Here's the story. September 11th, 2001. Cheryl McGuinness was a wife, a mother, living an ordinary life. Then the phone rang. Her husband, Tom McGuinness, was the co-pilot of American Airlines Flight 11, the first plane to strike the World Trade Center. In one moment, Cheryl's world ended. Sudden widowhood, single motherhood, financial ruin, the kind of pain that destroys people. She had a choice. Most people don't recognize it when the ground is burning, but she did. Cheryl could have let the tragedy allow her to become bitter, become stuck, become a story about loss. Instead, she made a different decision. She stepped into responsibilities she's never handled. She learned public speaking. She developed skills she didn't know she needed. She didn't waste her pain. John Maxwell uses Cheryl's story to teach what he calls the law of pain. Good management of bad experiences leads to great growth. This is the 8th law of his 15 invaluable laws of growth. Maxwell keeps what he calls a pain file, a list of common painful experiences. Inexperience, incompetence, disappointment, conflict, change, bad health, financial loss. Everyone has a list. The difference between people who grow and people who stagnate isn't whether they experience pain, it's whether they steward it. George MacDonald wrote, "Everything difficult indicates something more than our theory of life yet embraces." When pain enters your life, is your first thought, "This isn't supposed to happen to me"? Cheryl took her pain and transformed it into a platform to help others. She wrote a book titled Beauty Beyond the Ashes. She speaks, she ministers. She didn't waste a single degree of her suffering. In 2007, she remarried and is now Cheryl Hutchins and now lives in Greenland, New Hampshire. That's the law. Pain is inevitable. How you manage it is optional. And your management of pain determines whether you become bitter or better. You can try to bury your sorrows or invest them. The better story to tell yourself is, I will steward my pain well because every problem introduces me to a stronger version of myself. Every setback you can turn into a setup for a comeback. Tell me a story of a time you managed pain well to fromchadsmith@gmail.com. Send someone a text and ask them, what pain have you stewarded into growth? You can get a free copy of my book, The Most Powerful Story in the World, by going to fromchad.gumroad.com. The transcript of this message and hundreds of others are always available at www.fromchad.com.